Sometimes in the heat of the moment, if you get a dog bite, you immediately call animal control and then they show up. And maybe by the time they show up, you've changed your mind and you actually don't want to go to court and you don't want to press any sort of charges. And then that's when we'll just counsel the dog owner. So really what defines a dangerous or vicious animal depends on every situation. It's different.
Jason Samuel Proctor was convicted of domestic assault in the second degree, recklessly causing serious physical injury to ER by agitating a dog, specifically a pit bull named Savage, in close proximity to ER while ER was holding their 4-month-old son, BP. He lit fireworks and threw them outside, and this was defendant's dog, and there was other testimony that the defendant knew that fireworks would agitate the dog, and that the dog would go after the firework, attack fireworks when he came into contact with him. The dog grabbed onto her calf, took her to the ground, and wouldn't let go. I don't know if you know much about pit bulls, but once they lock their jaws, it's very hard to get them to let go. We got a hold of the victim's calf and basically tore it to shreds. A bunch of plastic surgery, a bunch of rehabilitation. There's still scars today. At that point, the pit bull runs away and is not seen until animal control shows up and takes control of the pit bull.
So the ordinance with the county, we have no legal ability to take possession of the dog until the dog has bitten someone else. Then we can take possession of the dog, but we can only house it in the Humane Society or the vet's office for 10 days at the owner's expense.
Our contract with animal control stipulates that we care for, feed, and shelter the animal.
So if a judge decides that the animal must be euthanized, the owner can appeal that decision, but the judge usually looks at the bite itself, any sort of previous history with that animal. So when we get the complaint, like I said, we look through the records. And then they also will look at the circumstance at hand, take into consideration all of the witnesses that were there, and they really look at the whole picture. And so it's really situationally dependent on whether the judge decides that dog is unsafe and has to be euthanized for the public health.
Another way you can commit domestic assault in the second degree is by using a dangerous instrument, causing physical injury with a dangerous instrument. We thought about charging it that way, but in this case I don't think it fit because a dangerous instrument is an object like this chair. If I picked up this chair and did something bad with it, that's a dangerous instrument. Here, it wasn't that the defendant picked up the dog and struck somebody with it. He knew what his dog was like. He agitated his dog with the intent, I believe, and I think the jury agreed with me, to have the pit bull strike him. And at some point during the pendency of the case, the dog was put down. And that was something between animal control and the dog owner.
I think with any incident like that is very impassioned. People love their pets. That's a member of their family. And so it's really emotional for all parties involved, and I don't think any owner would like to believe that their dog had bit someone or caused somebody else harm. And so I think there's always going to be an emotional factor that comes into that. With every case, every bite case, there's always some, emotion and some heart and some impassioned feelings.